I think I'm in the wrong part of Colombia, but they said I'm family here, so I gotta drink some of this. First day of Colombia, cheers! Yeah, they robbed me and took everything I have. Cheers, first day in Colombia. What a warm welcoming.
There are several countries around the world that have been stigmatized with the label of being dangerous for tourists. But what a lot of people don't take into consideration is that these tourists are creating the situations that are getting them robbed and kidnapped. They're doing this in two different ways. The first of two is by doing things in these third world countries they wouldn't dream of doing in their Western countries. For example, no one in their right mind would go to the poorest city in America with the highest crime rate, put on a gold chain and a Rolex, and walk down the street. But you can go online and watch an endless amount of videos of people walking through the slums of the poorest countries in the world with nice clothes, $2,000 cell phones, and expensive camera equipment. Not taking into consideration that these people are 10 times poorer than the poorest people in the countries where they come from, and they're 10 times more desperate. And the fancy cell phone that you're waving in their face is more than half of their annual income. This is the type of person that's the first to get robbed.
I feel like I'm walking down an area that they don't get many tourists. My first day, I guess I'm not as scared as I thought I was. Hope I don't regret these words, but I've been here for about an hour and a half, and as I look over my shoulder, I'm about to say, it's not that dangerous here, bro. Like, dude, it reminds me of the Philippines, but I believe there is dangerous people. Wrong.
If you wanted anything, you found
Good people here?
of course, good people.
Safe?
Everybody's
I love basketball.
Yeah.
I play basketball.
He's my cousin. The wife.
So apparently they like me because I'm not racist. Simply as that.
course.
They have so much respect.
Of course.
And that's why they're being so hospitable, because we're not racist, bro.
Where he came from. The only reason we I said, yeah, I can show my face, you know.
I'll keep it hidden. I'll keep it hidden.
How privileged do you have to be this oblivious? Oh, they invited me back to their shack. They gave me free food. They gave me free alcohol. And they want absolutely nothing from me. He should have known something was up when one of the guys started doing the yayo dance to hide his face from the camera.
They Rabon, steal.
Tío Ramón.
Yes, all of our money.
Tío Ramón, ratero.
Yes. No bueno, bro. I just robbed all of my money. I can't even get in my hotel. Holy, I can't even pay my taxi driver back because I just got robbed.
The second way tourists create situations that have them turning into victims is by associating themselves with criminals. When people go to these countries to buy women, drugs, and partake in a slew of activities that are illegal in the countries they come from, the people that they make contact with are typically the scum of society. And given the fact that the people that go to these countries to buy women, booger sugar, and partake in a slew of illegal activities are in these countries to take advantage of the local population, that creates resentment from the local population, and then you end up like this guy.
So people keep asking me why I would never go to Mexico ever again. Honestly, Mexico was just horrible, honestly. I did not have fun in Mexico. I went to Cancun once and I never went back. I just felt like out there everybody was just trying to get over. They just think everybody from America rich and they're just trying to get over. They trying to jip you on the bills. They just trying to take as much money as possible from you, and that's why I just didn't like Mexico. First mistake I did going out there was having all my jewelry on. I had my Rolex, I had both my chains. I was just like, that just made it even worse. All the workers kept complimenting, oh, nice watch, son, looking at mine, and it just made mad, weird, and uncomfortable. Basically, when we first landed, and this is when I used to smoke, I ain't gonna lie. When we first landed, as soon as we get down there, we get to our room, we roll up, me and my man roll up some bud, then we start walking down the strip towards like seeing frogs smoking. So as soon as we walk out of the hotel, some dude trying to offer us coke, weed, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, if you even trying to sell that shit here, you gotta be with the cartel, because you can't, you probably like they low level little street dealers, but you can't sell shit out there without the cartel getting a piece of your cut. They not playing that down there in Mexico, especially Cancun and tourist areas. So we all green, our first time in Mexico, not knowing nothing. We bragging, he like, yo, yeah, we like, nah, we good, we got our own. and like showing my L's, like, nah, we got our own shit, whatever. We not even thinking of it. He like, oh, all right. So we keep walking.
So you thought it was a good idea to go to a foreign country, bring an illegal narcotic, and smoke it while you're walking down streets infested by one of the world's most dangerous gangs, the cartel. Right.
And as we walking, we smoking our shit. Then my man, he like, yo, that like police right there. I'm like, I don't like no police. It was some little short, little dusty looking Mexican dude. He ain't had no gun. It was an empty holster. I'm like, that's a security guard. So we get near him. He was grilling hard though. So we put the shit out before we got past him. And and so once we get past him, we walking. Now we both had our shit balled up in our hand. So my man light his back. I ain't light mine back. Soon as my man light his back, the dude come behind him, tap him on the shoulder, automatically start asking for money. You feel me? So he takes my man with him to the car. They got a car that was sitting in front of the froze a cop car. Mind you, got flat tires, all that. The car is just sitting there. So they bring my man in the car so nobody can see, and they basically tell my man like, yo, 800, or you go to jail. My man like, pesos? They like, nah, USD. My man like, what? He like, nah, papi, I don't know, I'm not giving you no 800. So they ended up negotiating. My man ended up giving him like 200. And they let my man rock, but they was playing. So after that, I'm already over it. I'm like, nah, they on it, they thirsty. They using weed to like get all these other Americans that they know be smoking weed. Like they violating, bro. So once I kidding, man, every issue that we did run into out there was for like weed. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably the most notorious spot in the world for men being drugged and having their pockets cleaned out by women is in Colombia. At this point, everyone's heard about Colombian scopolamine queens that offer their time for money to tourists. Then while on dates with these tourists, the queens slip them a drug called scopolamine, which temporarily paralyzes the body, and these men are robbed blind. Now, a countless number of testimonials from men who have traveled to Colombia and have been scopolamined are all over the internet. Yet this still seems to happen on a daily basis. And for that, these Colombian women are depicted as soulless monsters, and I'm not even going to attempt to argue on their behalf. But I do think there needs to be a discussion regarding the men who travel to Colombia to buy women and their accountability in being scopolamine. I mean, these women are well aware that most of these men are traveling to their countries to give women a couple dollars, use them up, throw them away like a piece of trash, and then go back to their countries without giving them a second thought. So it's no surprise that they don't have any compassion for the men that they scopolamine.
It's December, almost Christmas, in Medellin, and this scopolamine queen believes she has found another victim. But she was wrong, as this particular encounter will trigger off a set of events that will completely change her life. After drugging her victim using scopolamine or another sedative, driven by greed, she disappears with his belongings without care if he lives or he dies. As she waits for her accomplices, she doesn't realize that her actions will have consequences. Her name is Maria Alejandra Salgado Ortega, and she has been a menace to hundreds of tourists in Medellin and in different cities in Colombia. For many years, she had been drugging and robbing victims with impunity, sneaking in and out of apartments without any fear of justice, leaving her victims dazed and confused, wondering what had just happened. But she had gone against the wrong one, and in a quest for justice, he wasn't about to let her go freely. They always lie and claim it's a false accusation when they've been caught, but this time, things are gonna end up extremely different for this scopolamine queen. Some say that it's all a show and that Obiland never actually put any of these demons behind bars. And so if you know, you know. In tears after being caught, in a citywide investigation where the Obiland team provided significant information, this scopolamine queen's life would change forever. She had drugged and robbed the wrong victim, and as a consequence is facing years behind bars. And so this is the story of Maria Ortega and how her victim Fritz and the Obiland team helped bring her to justice.
When you travel to these third world countries, especially in Latin America, you'll have several opportunities to get yourself robbed, and that's without doing anything suspect. So going to these countries acting like a fool is suicidal. About 3 years ago, there were 4 tourists that flew here into South Texas and drove across the border to Mexico. Shortly after arriving in Mexico, one of the Mexican cartels attempted to kidnap all 4 of them, and in the attempt ended up shooting 3, killing 2 and taking the remaining 2 hostage. And these are the people that did everything right. Luckily, the 2 that were held captive were eventually reunited with their families. That just goes to show there's enough danger in the world without tourists making questionable decisions. So when you travel outside of the country, keep that in mind and be respectful to the local population. Approach everyone with the attitude that I've come to give to you, not take from you. Because someone's poor doesn't mean they're stupid. People can tell the difference. Thank you for watching. And if you need to scratch that travel itch, like and subscribe to the channel.